had some questions about whether melt and pour soap can actually crumble. I've been working with melt and pour for quite some time and I've never found this to be the case with the soap base that we've used. However, we've had a customer that has purchased some, told me that she's melted it down and poured it into her mould, and then when she's taken it out the next day, her soap has crumbled and fallen apart. Now I'm really surprised by that, and I'd like to run some tests today to see if I can replicate that or if I can make that possible. So in this box here, this is the box which she actually brought back. She brought everything back for a refund yesterday. She brought back the pigments that she's been using, the colours, and she's brought back some soap. She brought back a few blocks, but I've just brought one of each up to the house. So these are the actual ones that she brought back and said that they were crumbling. I was having a look at these this morning. Actually, something a little bit odd with these is that when they're put together, they don't quite sort of fit. They're a funny shape, so maybe they've got a little bit warm and gone a funny shape, but I'm assuming that it's our soap, as she told me it was, so there's no reason not to believe. So what I thought I'd do to run some full tests on whether a melt and pour soap crumbles or whether it can crumble is, this is the mould that she told me that she used. So I've gone and got 4 of the same moulds. I've got the dyes here. She also had a concern with the dyes that when she poured them into soap, she said they weren't colouring up, particularly the bright pink one. Now I'm not sure whether that was in the melt and pour soap or whether that was in a cold press soap that she was using. We only supply melt and pour. But we'll give it a go today. We'll have a try and see what happens. So I wanted to replicate as closely as I could the products that she was using. So these 2 soaps, there's a clear soap and a white soap. Let's begin with those. So we'll just slip the plastic open on them. Okay, and cut them down with a soap cutter. Put some into these containers. So let's get the plastic off. Now, as you can see, this is the soap that she brought back. Okay, seems to cut fairly smoothly, fairly cleanly. There's no crumble whatsoever in that at this stage anyway. So we'll just use a little bit of that. I'm not sure whether she was using a stove or a microwave. So I've brought the microwave from the office into my kitchen, and on the stove I've got a pot, and also, really, look, I've been making melt and pour for a long time, and my experience is you can melt it down any way you like. So if I've got some ramekins on the stove, I've got a pot on the stove, I'm just trying to replicate any possible way that we could get this situation occurring. So we'll take a bit of the clear soap off, pop that into that container. I don't need much because I'm only going to make 1 soap out of each one. We'll pop these in the microwave. Turn it on, time power on high for, let's say, a minute and a half. Let's see how that goes. And while that's happening, we'll melt down some of the other soap as well. So cut a little bit of the clear soap and a little bit of the white soap off this particular block. Now she told me that she used essential oils and fragrant oils. I'm assuming they weren't ours. Yeah, that's cutting really nicely, and it's got nice flexible, pliable curves. So let's see what happens with that. So we'll take this one over to the stove. Come with me. What I've got happening here is I've got 1 saucepan with a pot on top. I'll just put the white soap in that one. I've put 2, I only really need 1. And in the ramekin and a frying pan, I'll put the clear soap into that one. That's melting down as soon as it goes in. It's melting really nicely, so that's okay. Now, I'm not sure, I'm probably going to use this soap rather than throw it away, so I think I'd like to add a little bit of fragrance to it if it's for my own use. I'm not sure which, as I said, I'm not sure which one she used, so I'll just take some out of my pantry. I've got a selection here that I use for oil burners, and I know which ones I like. This is an essential oil of Mei Chang. So we'll use that one up today. Now these were brought back to me yesterday, which was Friday the 7th. And today we'll just look at a calendar to prove the date of when we're testing. Okay, so today is Saturday. Don't worry about the timer on that. It's actually 12 o'clock or thereabouts in the afternoon. Okay, that soap's melted down quite nicely. As you can see, if you haven't done melt and pour soap, pretty easy. That was just 1.5 minutes. It's not 100% melted. There's a tiny little lump of it in the middle, but that'll, if I stir it around, if I swirl that around a little bit, it'll mix through. Now, the dye that she told me she had the problem with was the bright pink. So we'll give that a bit of a shake and put a little bit of that into here. Oh, and of course I haven't got any stirring sticks with me. That's handy. Well, I use the end of a fork. That seems to colour up pretty well. It's like a really bright Barbie pink. I'm happy with that colour. Let's give that a little bit of essential oil just so it smells nice. A few drops of essential oil into here. Give that a stir. And let's pour that into this mould. Enough to do two. May as well do two. I can use one as a guest soap in there. A little bit left over, that's okay. What I'm going to do with these is just pop them on the bench. I'll leave them until, usually they only need a couple of hours to set, but because she was expressing that the concern came about the next day when she'd cut them, we might leave them and we'll come back with a video tomorrow.